It's week one, baby. I don't know how after last week they let me come back and do this again, but here we are. The rust is off. The players are locked in. It's time to get into the thick of it. So welcome into another Football Friday Night Week 1 edition. In any sport, but especially football, there's a little bit better than a rivalry game. Nothing better than a rivalry game. And we have plenty of them on tap for you tonight. So let's get to it. We start things off in Van Buren, where the Pointers, they were hosting Alma in a good one. The Battle of the Bone. The two rivals exchanging pleasantries before battle, and off we go. The Pointers won the last four of these things. They get off to a fast start tonight. Second play from scrimmage. Bryce Perkins heads to the air, and Malachi Henry makes a catch through two Alma defenders, and he's got nothing but room to run. 70-yard score. That's how you open a rivalry game. Not too bad. And that Pointer defense, well, they had themselves a night. Third down for the Airedales in senior Connor Brady with the diving deflection. That's going to force a punt. And the story tonight was Henry. Over 200 receiving yards on the night. He was just a force to be reckoned with for the Pointers, who defend their home turf. They start the season 2-0. After Alma won the first 7 Battle of the Bone games, that's now 4 straight wins by Van Buren. The trophy stays with the Pointers for another year, and Crosby Tuck's team is looking real good through 2 weeks of action. So now we're going to head out to another good rivalry. Farmington Cardinals, they're 1-0. They were hosting Prairie Grove. It was the Tigers' first game of the season. Zach Ralston here with the scoop and score on the first play from scrimmage. Cardinals, they're working quick. They had a 7-0 lead. We move on in this one. Connor Hubbs, he's going to pitch it to Matthew Velasco, who takes it 75 yards. I promise he wasn't actually running that quick. Tie ball game in Farmington. Prairie Grove now back on offense with another huge gain. This time, Connor Wetzel takes it 77 yards. A lot of big plays early. This was just in the first quarter. Tigers on top 14-7, but the lead won't last. Solid gain by Miles Harvey. That's going to set up a Cardinal touchdown on the very next play as Cameron Van Zant takes it himself for the score. Once again, we were knotted up this time at 14 apiece, and it was all Cardinals from here on out. Van Zant, with time, finds Caden Elsick for a 30-yard strike. 21-14 Farmington, and there's our man Van Zant again to Devontae Donovan, and on the ensuing kickoff, Prairie Grove, they're going to muff the kick as Harvey, he's going to then fight his way across the goal line. 34-14 Cardinals, they had the lead. They go on to win this one big, 56-27. This was a bit of an upset for Prairie Grove in their first game of the season. The Cardinals get a big win. The J.R. Eldridge era in Farmington, well, it's off to a 2-0 start. So we are just getting going here. Tonight, the Greenwood faithful, well, they welcomed home the state champs for the first time since last January's victory. We head to the home of the Bulldogs when Football Friday Night rolls on.
Prairie 2021 Soccer State Champions, and you're watching Football Friday Night.
Welcome back into Football Friday Night. Thanks for sticking with us. Last Friday, the Bentonville Tigers, well, they put on a show, beating one of the best teams in Missouri by 2 touchdowns. So what would the Tigers have in store tonight when they hosted the Conway Wampus Cats? Out to Bentonville we go. Tigers home opener looking to start the season 2-0. We jumped third quarter in this one. Bentonville had a 28-0 lead, but here Boogie Carr, that's a fun name to say, takes it in from the 5 on a 4th down call, and we were tied at 28. But Bentonville's Josh Ficklin, number 1 from the 1, powers his way through a mass of bodies. Bentonville once again had the lead, but back and forth we go. Quarterback Cordell Wilson, this is for Conway now, he's going to fool everyone, including our cameraman, that's Ian, I'm going to call him out, as he scrambles his way for a Wampus Cats touchdown. We're back at 35, and it was all Conway from here as a fumble by Bentonville on the kickoff puts the Wampus Cats in excellent starting field position as Wilson, he's going to flick it to Ashton Deere. Bentonville, they are going to drop this one 55-41. So the Tigers look good at the start, but a tough finish tonight. The Tigers now drop to 1-1 on the young season. And like we've been talking about, it's rivalry night here in week 1. So now over to Booneville and Ozark, one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Arkansas. And on the Bearcats' first drive, Brooks Herrera, that's number 1. He's going to break off a huge run down the sideline. That's going to set up this Randon Ray touchdown for the first score of the night. The Hillbillies now trying to respond as Britton Gage. He's going to run for a huge gain on the outside. Our man's got moves wheeling and dealing to the right. He sets his team up in good field position, and there he is again, trying to duplicate that huge run. Now he's on the left side of the field, but it would go for nothing, and Randon Ray on the other side of the ball. That's a 65-yard touchdown run, his second of the night. And after a completed two-point conversion, the Bearcats found themselves up 16-0. A game that was so close last year, well, not so much this time around. Booneville goes on to get the win in this one. 42-12 is your final. So now we head out to the home of the defending state champs, Greenwood, hosting Southside. It's the first home game since that elusive title. Early in this one, Hunter Houston, he's going to hit Luke Brewer. That's a Greenwood touchdown. They're striking early and often. They had a 7-0 lead. Later in the first half, Houston again. This time he hits another target. It's number 80, Bryce Caldwell, right up the middle. That's a Greenwood first down. And later in the drive, Javon Williamson, short run, make it 13-0. We move on in this one. David Sorg for Southside. He's going to throw it to Luke Wall, who's brought down hard for the first down. And then later in the drive, Sorg is going to hit Kent Carlisle for decent yardage, but Greenwood is going to go on to take this one 54-24. They're 2-0 on the season. The Har-Ber Wildcats, they were traveling to North Little Rock tonight to take on the Wildcats. That won't get confusing at all, and this one was a dogfight. First quarter, first NLR drive, Malachi Gobert connects for a nice completion into Har-Ber territory. And the first score in this one is going to go to Terrence Moore. Punches it in from a short distance, and the North Little Rock Chargers were ahead 7-0. But on the other side of the ball, Hudson Brewer, he might be the best returning running back in the conference. He shows it here, 23 yards for the score, and Har-Ber ties the game. And on the next Wildcat possession, it doesn't go well. Har-Ber turnover woes continue. Fumble is pounced on by NLR. They capitalize immediately, and North Little Rock is going to go on to win this one. Har-Ber, they fall to 0-2 on the season. And tonight, 1-0 Piacola traveled to Hackett for the Hornets' first game of the season. More highlights and scores coming up your way on Football Friday Night. We're not done yet here on Football Friday Night. Hackett traveling to Piacola. Let's do it. This game was supposed to be in Hackett. Got moved to Piacola earlier today. We start the game third quarter. Connor Martin, he's going to have a first down and more with this run, and that is going to make it 28-6. Hackett, they played good in this one. Ian Hardwick had himself a game. He's going to take the direct snap later in that third quarter. Another good run for Hackett. Their ground game was looking sharp tonight, especially by Hardwick. He had himself a game. Hackett, they're going to get the win in their first game of the season. 36-22 is your final from Oklahoma. Well, guys, that's going to put a bow on week one. But I hear you. I know there were a lot more games than the 7 we got to show you. So head to our website, 5newsonline.com, for more scores and highlights from around the state. And make sure to tune in next week for week 2 of Football Friday Night. Have a great weekend, everyone.